Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Very nice to meet you, Excellency.
Monsieur le Président.
Yeah. Do you enjoy your work here?
Yes, very much. It's a very interesting position to see
Yes.
what is happening in Europe and the world.
Yes, yes.
And you too. You're enjoying
I visited here long ago, but I mean that was sort of donkeys years ago. I was living in England then, and I was working.
Et donc nous accueillons notre visiteur Desmond TUTU. J'ai peut-être laissé le soin au président de l'accueillir au nom du groupe.
Dear comrades, it's our honor and our privilege to receive Reverend Desmond TUTU. You all know who he is, Nobel Peace Prize. Desmond, you know that we are...
Died, the minister usually goes to town in praising the dead. And when this happened on the occasion of her husband's funeral, the woman turned to her son and said, "I think we've come to the wrong funeral." But it is a very great privilege indeed. There are not too many occasions when a person can, without being presumptuous, claim that they were speaking on behalf of millions. I can say so without fear of contradiction, without fear of sounding presumptuous in this one instance, when I say that I know I speak on behalf of millions in expressing deep appreciation to yourselves and to those whom you represent, who have supported our struggle for a new dispensation in South Africa.
Chairman.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
Darf ich noch einmal wiederholen?
Mr. Chairman and ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your kind welcome and for giving me this opportunity to address yourselves. I come as an emissary from a people who are beginning to see the possibilities of a new dispensation when they will be able to take their God-given part in the running of their country. It is an interesting thing that Nelson Mandela has come out of prison after over a quarter of a century in incarceration. In his own country, he cannot live wherever he would want to do so. In his own country, his children and grandchildren cannot even yet go to schools of their own choice. So that although he has walked out of the cells of a prison, he is still a prisoner in his home country. Thank you very much for coming to this press conference. We came to brief our partners here, the European NGOs who helped to arrange our visit. about the current situation, political situation in South Africa. We wanted also to be able to express our appreciation for the support that we have had from the European community and from the constituency represented by the NGOs. We also had some concerns relating to our special program. We have had a series of meetings with various members of the community, culminating yesterday with the meeting that our delegation, or some of our delegation, had with the President, Mr. Delors.
I declare open this special conference of presidents, open to all members of the House, on Darfur. I want to welcome very warmly His Reverence Archbishop Desmond TUTU, Nobel Prize It's a great honor for this House to have you here, Your Reverence. Archbishop Desmond TUTU, as you all know, was awarded with a Peace Nobel Prize in 1984 for his constant fight against apartheid.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what a very great honor to be invited to address this august gathering. Some people know me, but one day I was in San Francisco and a lady rushed up to greet me and she said, "Hello, Archbishop Mandela." Sort of getting two for the price of one. I want first of all to pay some tributes. Thank you, leaders and members of the European Union Parliament, for your concern about this deeply distressing, indeed shattering situation that has made Darfur almost a shorthand for the most ghastly examples of our inhumanity to one another, characterized by the most egregious violations of human rights, where women are raped as a weapon of conflict, homes destroyed, crops devastated, children made orphans, and huge refugee populations created both externally and as IDPs, a local conflict that threatens to set ablaze that part of our continent. Want to see Africa flourish, want to see Darfur liberated, want to see Sudan stand tall. I will not catalogue the situation, it is well known. My Nobel sister laureate, Jody, and her high-level mission have done a splendid job. But I did want to suggest that we want to reinforce the AU and the UN as the appropriately dominant players, even if at present the UN is being stymied and the African Union peacekeeping force is hamstrung by lack of resources. You here, friends, should help, as you are already doing in different other ways, help to ensure that that situation is redressed. The rebel groups will need to be persuaded to try to work together to have a common goal and agenda. The Khartoum government, knowing I was coming to this meeting, dispatched its ambassador in South Africa for an urgent consultation with me. I suggest that the European Union and the international community should say to Khartoum, 1, allow the UN contingent of the peacekeeping force unimpeded access. 2, disarm, you'll hear from my friend, disarm Janjaweed. 3, allow humanitarian aid forthwith, unimpeded access. There are many things that we could add to this, but I'm saying if we got them on these 3 and said, here is an absolute deadline, that by this deadline, if these things are done or are in the process of being done, then we would want to call for a suspension of sanctions, and that we provide logistical and other necessary support for the hybrid force to protect civilians forthwith. We had an intractable situation in South Africa. People believed that only a bloodbath would resolve our situation. It never happened. Let us not give up on the fact that change can happen in Khartoum. Thank you.